Hey, everybody. Welcome to another fun edition of Hangoutlander. I sound the same at the beginning of every single one of these. I'm Beth, and I'm here, and I'm not drinking because I got really drunk Saturday, and then I didn't have a hangover, but I had a migraine Sunday afternoon, and it didn't go away, and I wrote this week's recap with it. So you're welcome, everyone, for any typos that I still had in that were just aura-induced. But I'm having a Kirkland sparkling water from Costco, the lemon flavor. It's excellent. We're here to talk about Outlander 406, Blood of My Blood. And everyone say hello. And if you're drinking, what you're drinking tonight. Courtney, let's start with you.
Hello, I'm Courtney. This morning, I am drinking a willow bark tea steeped in the hot sweat of Lord John Grey's measles sweat in tears for Jamie.
No, it is not willow bark tea.
No, it's not. It's actually Edinburgh tea time that I got when I went to Scotland.
Awesome.
In my Rosalind Chapel mug, because I'm a nerd.
Cool. Okay, Jana, say hi.
Hi, I'm Jana. I am drinking, let me find it, scotch tonight. But more importantly, I'm eating this amazing peanut butter chocolate trail mix from Costco. It is delicious. If you see it, buy it.
Okay, I will. Yeah. I'm in Costco weekly, so do that. Say hi, Julie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie. I'm drinking Pinot Noir, and I'm also going to be looking at your comments on YouTube. So if you are joining us through the YouTube chat, send us your questions, your comments, and glad to join for tonight. So glad.
We do have a lot of people on the YouTube chat. There's a lot of you in there. Hi, guys. Y'all are all like, hi, I'm from Alabama and Ohio and Houston and Minnesota and yeah. Hi, guys. I'm glad you're here. I don't normally watch the YouTube chat. So if you guys are like the regulars, I'm so excited y'all are there. I'm terrible at super bad at watching YouTube chats. Like I can't moderate this chat and that one at the same time. So anyway, just y'all keep on talking in there and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's get started into this episode. We are going to flip the switch because Julie literally just finished the episode for the first time right now. We're going to flip the switch and talk about the last scene first. Yes. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Guys.
Really good.
Okay. My recap specifically did not have this bathtub sex scene in it. And there was a good reason for that. And that was because it was super awkward. And I don't understand why the sex scenes here are like little codas at the end of episodes and not like good. They have been good in the past. Like, remember in The Reckoning where they're like mad at each other and then they have that really good sex on the carpet and she finds a little doll under the bed or whatever and she's freaking out. Like, they have a purpose. This didn't have much of a purpose other than just a sex scene and for him to give her the ring. And I hate these coda sex scenes that they put on it. But more importantly, it just didn't work. Guys, what are your thoughts?
No, in fact, it didn't work. I was I was very uncomfortable, not because it felt like, where there's a sex scene that's so realistic and the chemistry between the two actors are so real that you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm like looking in on their private life. It wasn't like that at all. It was the dialogue for me. And it was the forced intimacy, I felt like. And then the noises. And if you heard all of us, we're like, yeah.
Why were they going back and forth like that? It was so weird.
It was like listening to, it's like you put like an app on your phone to make sex noises to friends and crank call them like, hey, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
It's like Dwight Schrute hitting the keyboard during the Dundies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I just put a poll up on Twitter for people who are following along with us as we go along on Twitter. Bathtub sex scene, sexy or hard pass. So if you're on Twitter, go up and vote. I just have it set for the hour we're here, so we'll see what the poll says. So far, sexy, 100%, one vote. Not me.
I just voted hard pass. So
thanks. Yeah, normalize.
Thanks, Jana. Keep it going. I mean, there's something about the dialogue that's from the books when they're having sex scenes in the book. It doesn't translate to screen. It just doesn't work. Like we talked about the sex scene that they had at the beginning of the season and how it was like a full sex scene. It went from like just talking to flirting to touching to like completion. And it was okay. It was okay. They did a lot less like sexy talking and more they were just like talking about life, and then it turned into sex and that felt real. This one felt so dorky and not cool. And I could have think of a million different ways for him to give her that ring. And the rain conversation was awkward and gross.
So
His
dumb.
sexy voice is weird.
Mm-mm.
And then doing the whole carrying her to the bed. Why do we have to see every second? I'm watching The Last Kingdom right now with my husband. It's on Netflix. It's a Viking show. And the main guy, he has sex with like a ton of people and it's great. But every time he has a sex scene, it's like it's in bits and pieces. Like you don't see the whole thing, or like the very first sex scene he has is like he and the girl are like laughing and it's super cute. But it's just not awkward. Like if the chemistry between your two characters doesn't work, cut it, edit it.
Right.
Like, figure it out.
Yeah. No, and that's the problem. So somebody on YouTube, I started laughing at this because Melania Evans said, I kept thinking someone was going to peep in the windows. Like someone was just in here and be like,
what's up?
What you guys doing in there? Like Laura John's like, forgot something.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a good time for Ian to come home.
Yeah.
And cock block him.
Yeah.
Or
So we don't have to
Rolo.
see that.
Oh, Rolo.
I think
Or
I saw
Rolo.
somebody like make a gif of them carrying him, her being carried to the bed. And then that from last week where Ian opens the door and he's like, the sow had your hat.
Yes.
Like mashed it together. That was super cute. Whoever did that. Good job.
No.
But yeah, the actual like bed talk was okay. Like the little counting thing was kind of cute.
So
But
speaking about
all of the bathtub stuff sucked.
So somebody wrote online, as I'm keeping that, Brittany says on YouTube, she read online that the whole counting scene wasn't scripted. What the F?
No,
So,
I think
yeah.
it was scripted. I think what some people are saying is that it wasn't scripted for her to say 5.
Oh, okay.
Like she got caught up in, of course, shippers think she got caught up in the sex scene. Not
Because they're married.
right.
Secretly in real life.
Yeah.
She secretly had a couple of babies. But like she got caught up in that and said 5, and that's really Sam like going 5, and then she laughs, which I would perfectly believe is plausible.
Right.
But I mean, she's really thinking about like, do my boobs still look perky? Have I pressed them together enough where they're not like flying like pancakes? Like she's thinking about other things than just like every minutia of her dialogue. So I believe that 5 comment could be, not scripted, but not the whole thing for sure. They're not like really making love and ad-libbing their lines. That's not happening.
So romantic.
I was expecting a nipple lick.
So gross.
Anybody
Yeah.
else? I was expecting him to go
he
full
hasn't-
Geneva.
Oh, I
He
thought
hasn't
he
done
was
that
gonna,
in a hot second.
I thought he was going to go full on nipple lick downstairs all the way season 1 again. And so, and then it just faded to black. And all I was left in my ears were,
It did cut out really awkwardly. I thought
Yeah.
it was kind of a bad editing job.
Yeah.
Maybe they were
Did
trying
not-
to get that little blooper in there and it
Didn't
they
happen.
couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't edit it right after that.
And
Yeah.
also, while we're on boobs, I just want to say I mentioned it when I live tweeted. If my boobs look like that when I'm her fictitious age, then thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Because there's no way those boobs match her age. Surely
No.
makeup department could have done something. I know they had to cut to green screen, but still, come on.
They're not 50-year-old boobs for sure.
Oh,
no,
gosh,
they're not. Definitely not 50-year-old boobs. I don't know. No, I've always said like I've seen Katrina Balf's boobs more than my own. So
Purely Muse just said there were no nipple sucks with Kat since season 2, I don't think. I wonder if something's up with her boobs.
maybe she now has a clause where she's like, I'm getting married. My fiance doesn't want my nipples sucked.
Mhm.
Pinch sucked. There's a no nipple suck clause on her in her contract.
I don't know, man. She was supposed to have that whole nursing scene with Frank, and that didn't happen. And like,
Which would have been, I'm not over that.
anyway, I'm team make the sex less involved with dialogue. Like, just just show me that they're still like sexually active. Be sweet, be
Connecting.
romantic.
They're connecting.
I mean, get Jamie naked occasionally. and do stuff like that, do fun stuff. But this wasn't fun. I don't like it when they try to force the romance, and it's dorky.
They make it so emotionally intense. And like, how often to like couples who've been married for that long have like emotionally like intense, that deep soul connection? Like, just have like fun, casual sex.
I have to be really, really drunk to have emotional sex. Like, obliterated. And then I'm like, this is great.
But I honestly, like, don't talk about like rain your kisses down on me. I would, if a guy talked to me like that during sex, I'd be like, stop. Shh, no. This is the silent portion of the hour, or 5 minutes, whatever you want to call it. But I'm like,
let's play the quiet game.
Yeah, let's not have this discussion. Like, it's like horrible Mad Libs. Like, let your blank rain down on me. I'm like, no, just no. Please stop.
A couple of people are saying, Purely Amused and Courtney or Gail H are saying that Kat in interviews has said that the nudity and sex scenes, she wanted to change them. Like after season 1, she wanted to change things about setting an example or something, how naive they were in season 1 or something. So
no,
I don't know what's up.
Listen, I love Kat, but if that's her call, no.
I mean, she has some agency in what she's gonna do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't matter to me how much sex they show. It doesn't matter like what acts they show or whatever. Although if she's talking about that scene where Jamie's going down on her and Murtagh interrupts them and like that they didn't like, no, that one is the best. That one's the best one. That's what you be doing, like that stuff. Anyway, are we frozen? Am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good.
Good. Okay. Y'all were just quiet. So anyway,
No,
I
was looking.
I just think that stuff, like if there's something that they want to change, I'm fine with. I think that's great. I think that a lot of times it was a little bit too much, like, but I mean, the best sex scenes are in season 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she's worried about. Anyway, let's go on. Let's move on to Lord John and Willie and discuss this episode in toto. A lot of people, last week was so good. Savages was such a good episode. And a lot of people have been saying that they thought Blood of My Blood was even better. What do you guys think? Rating those 2 episodes against one another or just in general?
I was so distracted by Willie's wig, horrible wig, and then kind of the weird facial expressions that he had that I missed most of their dialogue. So if it was sweet, I was like covering my eyes to block out the hair, and I missed it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
go ahead, Jenna.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about them changing so much from the book, like having him realize it's Mac like within 5 minutes and Murtagh finding out. I still don't know how I feel about it.
Right. If we're comparing it to Savages, I really did enjoy that episode. I very much enjoyed that episode. I didn't feel like this was a bad episode, but if we're comparing it to that episode, no, I think that Savages surpassed that. And for various reasons, it's certain like moments in the plot. I understand this is an hour, and as this is an hour show, you have to you need to move it along quickly, but the speed in which Murtagh found out about Willie, and then Jamie revealing Willie as his son was just so rushed. It didn't feel like it got time to develop, and it could have been developed really well, but I just didn't feel like they had that time to develop, and it was so much in one episode. So yeah.
I mean, my thoughts are, I thought Savages is one of the, was a great episode. I really thought they did a good job. This one was okay. I didn't like the coda of the sex scene on the end. So if we just chop that off and act like it wasn't there, what about the rest of the episode? It was okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're losing a lot. They lost I wrote about this in the recap. You lose this central tension if the tension that you set up at the very beginning is Willie doesn't need to know who you are because it'll traumatize him or something, which I guess is the reason. And then the other tension is nobody can know that you're really Willie's father. Well, the only people there are Willie and Murtagh.
Yeah.
So you're talking about keeping it from Willie and Murtagh. Willie remembers that you're Mac immediately, and Murtagh figures it out right away and then leaves. So there's no long form tension between, you know, about that. And so I was kind of bored with, I mean, where was Willie and Jamie's tension after that moment?
Right.
That one didn't even play out very well. There was no rubber band snap to that moment at all.
And it should have, because he revealed something huge. There was no discussion. There was no, you said you're my father, you're lying. I mean, there could have been an amazing moment where Jamie did lie to him and say, you're right, I was lying. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. But here he is screaming out, I actually thought he was going to say it in Cherokee. I thought he was going to say, this is my son in Cherokee, which I thought actually was going to be pretty cool. But no, he says it in English.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
But he says it in English, and Willie's like, oh, no, he's joking. He's not my dad. He's just protecting us.
Yeah.
And there was no mention of that, of, hey, you said you were my dad. You kind of look like me a little. And we'll get to that, I think, in a second, because I see a lot of people on YouTube are like, they didn't even look alike. And we'll get to that in a second. We will, I promise you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was waiting for that, and there was nothing. And that boy is old enough to have that conversation, apparently, with.
Is he supposed to be like 12? I mean, I can't remember how long it's been since Hellwater.
I think so.
He's been with Claire like almost at least 2 years now, 2 to 3 years. And I want to say it's been at least 6 years. I think Willie's supposed to be like 13.
He's clearly prepubescent, though. I mean, because he still has that naivete that.
Well, I mean, I know plenty of 13-year-old boys that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but I think that's how old he's supposed to be.
Right.
If he was 6 when James left, and it was as traumatic as it was, he would remember him right away. There'd be no like, I might not remember you.
And that was my other problem. My other problem was how quickly he realized, oh, you were the stable master back when I was a child. Like, it didn't take anything for him to remember that. It was Jamie saying one thing in Gaelic, and he goes, oh, I know who you are. You know, that for me was like, how?
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough of a callback. It wasn't enough time. So they should have really made that tension more believable, and then had given it some real world consequences, even if those consequences are just how Willie treats him afterwards.
Right.
Because really there's nothing else to happen. But maybe that's why he runs away, and that's how he gets involved with the savages or the Indians or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, give some real world consequences to him finding out. It would have been more believable to me if Willie had run away from him in the middle of the night once he found out who he really was. But at the same time, it is not believable to me that Willie would not have recognized him immediately.
Right. And just for saying something simple as, I don't know what he says. I'm so sorry for anybody who speaks.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about where we get that wrong,
lady. And I'll be like, sorry.
Yeah.
But that was it. I just felt like don't rush it. That would have been perfect for him to kind of have that slow, like, burn to, I know who you are. Yeah. Like, I remember you. But having other factors.
Or even just if maybe he figured it out right away, but he kept it to himself. And so he keeps like doing crappy stuff, or, doing stuff to see if Jamie's going to break and tell him who he really is. And that becomes the tension. I mean, anything else than just, I know who you are, now let's go on a tour together, is just useless, other than to show Jamie like having this emotional pain, which we can talk about now because Sam did a really good job, I thought, with Jamie's emotional pain of not being able to father his son. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was really hard for him because, like, you talked about it in your article about the show. It's he was being a little shit, and it's like, as a parent you notice it, but you have to like remember that he was so entitled, and he owned this entitlement, that he's not like our kids, where if my kid's being a shit, then we're going to solve it really quick.
Right.
And he wasn't raised by Jamie. He was raised by nannies and maybe his mom every once in a while. And he had just lost his mom. So it was hard for me just because he was so whiny, and whining is my big pet peeve, to even look past that to try to feel sorry for him.
So everybody on YouTube comments, thank you very much if you are commenting. Everybody is agreeing. Sam was really, really good in this episode. Pearly and You says, Sam was great in this episode. I love those moments when he was annoyed and when he was proud. Brittany says Sam was great. Continues to kill me with the watering eyes. So Sam has that ability just to like make his eyes water where you're like proud parent, but I'm not going to cry just yet.
Yeah.
So,
I did love when he grabs him by the scruff of the neck. Like that's such the best like parenting moment that he just like is like, no, you're not doing that. And he's like, and don't try to get off the horse. Don't make me tie you. Like that's a very Jamie moment. I felt like he was very book Jamie in this episode.
Yes.
Which was great.
Very, especially with that whole thing where he grabs him and says those words like, I'm gonna tie you if I have to. That was strong, but not like over like where he's like, I'm super tough. I'm Jamie, but it was like, no, I'm stronger than you. Get on that horse. We're going. You're being ridiculous. I
really would love to see what it would be. I think that a lot of people's problem with Willie, I mean, there's a lot of problems with Willie when you read the books because he's just, it annoys me that Willie exists.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like Claire in that way. Like I am super annoyed that he even exists in the timeline and he just bugs the shit out of me. But like, I do feel some sympathy towards him, especially after this episode. It just kind of hit him. I was like, oh crap, he just lost his mother. He doesn't know this guy from Adam. Of course, he's not going to treat him well, all of that stuff. But I wonder how people would feel if the kid playing Willie really...
Say it.
I don't want to say anything about this kid as an actor. I think that he did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he probably worked really, really hard. I think he's probably very talented to get the job. He probably beat out a ton of other actors. He doesn't look anything like the way Sam Heughan's kid should look. And so that's a problem. And then I feel like he probably just had a hard time with some of the material. I think he had braces that they hid or something because he was constantly like moving his mouth really strangely. I just wonder like if it had been like this spot on thing, if people would be more understanding about the character. I don't know.
Because he could have, like, if he was endearing, like, he still could have been a little shit, but people wouldn't have absolutely hated him.
Yes.
You can pull off shitty but endearing with the right 12-year-old.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of that's a whole gamut of like a million,
right.
situation comedies is that there's some 12-year-old who's the little shit, but he's also endearing.
Right. Well, it's that sense that he's supposed to be a little kid and at 12, 13 years old, however Willie's supposed to be, he's trying to be a man and assert himself. And it's like, no, you're weak, get away. And that was it. As I was watching it, there was something about it. Maybe it was the facial expressions. He kept on going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So distracting.
I just don't know why. Like, I feel like I really feel like they put him like in a mouth guard or something. I don't know. I mean, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't like want to bash that kid actor. No, like he's not an adult. I can bash the adults for sucking, but like he didn't suck. There was just something off about the huge amounts off about how he was styled. We can just go ahead and say that right now. Poor kid had a, matted rat carcass on his head and it's doing him no favors.
I feel like that was like his Outlander initiation. It was like, welcome to the team. Here is your shitty wig.
No, my favorite from your recap was the picture of Jamie holding his head down and like both of them have their head down. You're like father, like son.
Yes.
He figured it out. I actually like the scene where he kind of chokes up and he says, "Is my dad's gonna die?"
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, "Oh, your dad's right there. He's actually right there."
Yeah.
But it goes to show you again. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Brianna and her love for Frank. It doesn't matter if you are the biological parent. The love for a parent is still there.
Sure.
No matter who. And so I really loved that little scene because no matter what, he's still Lord John Grey is his dad.
Yeah. And I would have loved to have seen because of the way this one was set up and because there were times where it was kind of laggy and they threw in some things just to kind of fill out the episode. I felt like it would have been great to see flashbacks to Brianna at this point. I mean, she was the cliffhanger last week and now we have had a whole hour without her. And it would have been cool to see at the back and forth, the danger between the two of them, and see how Jamie's two children are connected.
Yeah. Faring in this world. Because I'll say right now, the way Savages ended last week, that was phenomenal with her disappearing. And so I thought we would get a little bit more with her, but I'm assuming next weekend is going to be very much, or next week's episode is going to be dedicated purely to her.
Yes. I'm sure it will be. Let's talk about Lord John. We haven't really talked about him a whole lot. David Barry's so great, you guys. And as much as I don't love Lord John interfering in Jamie's happiness, I don't dislike Lord John as a character. I like him. I don't like him inserting himself into Jamie's life. But I do love seeing David Barry. So if they want to give him that spinoff series where he, solves crimes with other gay guys, I'm down with that. I don't even know what that series is about. Like, I just assume that he's like out doing Sherlock Holmesy stuff with guys that he also bonks. But he was great. He's so good. What were y'all's thoughts?
I really liked, this is like one of my favorite scenes from the book, like his and Claire's interchange, which was still, I think it's still translated really well to screen, but his like dying measles sounds.
I thought he was, I'm not kidding, Jana. I thought he was farting.
It was so awkward. But other than that, he was fantastic. And like his beautiful eyes welling up with tears. And
because it's just, even when he was like dying, he still was very wordy. He was like, I'm for sure my head might split in two, where like most of us would be like, my head.
He's always so like proper and eloquent, but not enough with
thinking he's a guy who's sick, like a man who, like, he's the only one who's ever had an extreme heheadache. Like, oh God, I'm gonna die. No,
it's man flu.
Yeah,
man measles.
You have the man measles. Calm down. You're not the only one. No, I actually thought he was really good, and I thought the scenes between everyone talks about the scenes between Jamie and Laura John. I thought the chemistry between David Barry and Katrina Balfe were good. Very strong. Very strong. Just that back, that back and forth. Like, you're jealous because I've had, I got to raise Willie. I got to, spend time with them and everything. And she's like, well, boom, drop the mic. I got a daughter.
Yeah. But the whole part of the conversation where she was saying that she was saying that I just can't help I was born this way, and then he looks at her and he was like, so was I was like, yeah, cue Lady Gaga.
Yeah, that scene is great. I love that back and forth, and I love her getting up and like walking away and saying I can't really help it. That's just, I wish she had said that's just how I've always been. Like
instead of born this way. Yeah.
Born this way was a ridiculous way to say that.
And I'm like, no, you weren't born that way. You learned. Come on, Psychology 101. Come on, Claire.
I mean, they're obviously doing the born this way so that he can say, so was I. And the tear, and it was great. He did a great job, but it was too on the nose. And it's kind of insulting for her to just be like, I'm born cantankerous and confrontational. And he is like, and I was born gay. I mean, that's just...
It's silly.
Insulting, I think. It's just ridiculous. So, I mean.
But that could have been done so much better considering how everything else was done. But I even wrote it down like cue Lady Gaga. I was just like, it was going so good. And then
until that part. That part.
Which sucks because his reaction to it is so good.
Yes.
Right.
It's acted so well. It's just the phrase born this way or born that way that is wrong. And they shouldn't have used it.
Yeah. And then, my part too, I felt like we were watching like First Date with Jamie and Lord John, like when they're playing chess, and he's like, do you want to take a sip of something? I'm like, yeah, he does. He really wants to take a sip.
Yes!
He does.
He was standing right next to him with his penis right next to his face. And he was like, you want to taste something else? And I'm like, what is happening?
I was like, you're a tease, Jamie Fraser. Sit down.
That's a totally different network.
He's just going to open that placket right up.
And he's like pouring it, like, and it's near his
He hadn't even picked the bottle up off the shelf yet.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't even gone and gotten it yet. He was asking him if he wanted a sip with his wiener in his face.
That's right.
And hadn't even gone to get it yet.
So Jamie, you're a damn tease. You know that this guy loves you and wants to bone you and be the little spoon to your big spoon, because we all know Jamie Fraser is going to be the big spoon in this situation.
Look,
and you're just cruel. You don't.
it
do
was
that.
mean. And it was, if it was not intentional, it was very stupid of the editors to do it like that, or the director to do it like that. And Milena Evans are saying she thinks she felt like Jamie was flirting a little. He should not be flirting like that.
No.
If somebody is flirting like that, it's my husband. And yes, I do want something to drink, but there's no other situation where it's appropriate.
Right.
Imagine you're like, it's not appropriate. If your good guy friend did that, would you be like, gross, get out of my face? And especially if you know that person's in love with you, I am not okay with that whole little bit right there.
No. And my problem with that too is that Lord John, and he told Claire, he came back hoping that Jamie was alone, that he was going to be by himself, nobody else, so that he could possibly explore this relationship with this man. And there's Claire and everything. So, I mean, not that Jamie knew that, but you know that this person loves you. You know that this person wants you. You actually offered yourself to this person.
Yep.
You a tease, man. You a tease.
That's not right.
No.
And if it's not Jamie doing that, it's just really bad editing, like stupidity. Like, oh, we didn't catch that. Like, you just have such a dirty mind to think that that was something that was. No, it was pretty blatantly like the thing he was doing. He hadn't even picked the whiskey up yet.
I had even caught it in my like half drunkenness too. And I was like, is he just going to like hike his foot up on the chair and like pelvic thrust in his face next? Because that's exactly what I was expecting.
I thought he was going to rub the bottle down and be like, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Let's do this. You
Right.
like this?
Wait, do we actually think that Lord John was coming to Fraser's Ridge thinking that Claire wasn't going to be there anymore?
That's what I thought. Or
He
not
said-
at all.
He said to her in his kind of stupor, his measles stupor, that he said something along the lines of, I came here. Yes, I did. Cause he's supposed to go to Virginia, and they were very far away from where they were supposed to go. And he said, yes, I did come here hoping to see James, because she said, were you here to show Willie to James Fraser? Or were you hoping to see James Fraser? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he said he was going there to see James Fraser.
Yeah, but I don't think he was expecting Claire not to be there. I think he knew Claire was supposed to be there. 100%.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Maybe,
I mean,
I'm wrong then.
I'm not anticipating that he wouldn't think that he could maybe catch him off guard. And like, obviously he left Willie in the woods. So I don't think he would have had a problem if Jamie had been like, hey, I'm really lonely. Claire's been away for a couple of weeks.
Right.
But I mean, why would he think that would ever happen? I think he knew Claire was there.
Okay.
He said that I wanted to see if I could still feel.
Yeah.
Like he was worried about his
Yeah.
emotions, but his emotional life not being full anymore. So he came to see Jamie because he wanted to torture himself, I guess. I don't know. But like,
but when
anyway.
let's be honest, when you know somebody likes you and you do not like that person back in that same way, don't push the envelope. Don't be like, so you still like me? I got somebody else, but do you still like me? Don't do that. Don't play that game. That's horrible.
I don't really think that's what they were going for because it was just that one thing.
Yeah.
I really think it was just like really dorky, bad editing. Like they
Right.
didn't realize that that's what it looked like. But it was obviously that's what it looked like. I mean, people, stupid.
Right. Diana wants to remind us we lost someone on the panel, and I was like, who? What does she mean we lost
Did
someone
we?
on the panel? Courtney.
I went away
Courtney's-
for yes.
Oh, there she is. There
I'm back.
she is.
No,
Okay.
I was frozen.
Thank you, Diana.
Happens sometimes.
That happens. So welcome back.
Internets.
One thing I did notice was that the actual Lord John Claire parts were almost completely like from the book. And again, we've said this before. I'll say it again every time they do it. When they pull Diana's dialogue out and really let the actors run with it, it really works.
That's what some of the best episodes have come out of.
Yes. Now, not sex scenes.
No.
Maybe the afterglow sex scenes will work like that. Not the sex scenes, but when they let the characters have the reign to say the things that they say in the books, those scenes tend to be very intense and very good. They need to do it more often in in a lot of the future scenes coming up in this season, but it needs to happen more often because it always works really well.
And that's why the books have such a huge following and strong following, is that relationship, that dialogue that they have. So if they can convey that more, even if it's in little snippets, because obviously we understand everything has to be edited for TV. I just don't understand why they haven't figured out this formula. Season 4, y'all. Season
I don't know.
4.
I don't know. We can see Courtney. Some of you are saying we can't see Courtney. We can see her. So if y'all can't see her,
sorry.
But yeah, it is a form. It does seem like it's something that they could have figured out after season 1, because it was like that in season 1 too. Again, I always say the same episodes because I can't remember all the ones that I think are like that. But there's so many of them that when they took it straight from the book, it worked so well. And that was when the actors were still trying to find their place and find their way into those characters. Now that they have it, now that they're comfortable with it, they should be doing it more, not less.
No, and that's the thing. One thing I will say about Diana, she writes really rich dialogue. So take it from there and let it grow. Let it grow like Fraser's Bridge is growing.
Yeah.
So,
We've got some people asking about the privy and they did the snake. They did the snake in the privy thing at the very beginning.
Right.
I guess it got me excited because I thought they were going to throw Willie down the privy, which would have been great.
Yeah.
With Ian there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kills me about that is I kept wondering why she was in the bath. Like at the very least, it would have been cool if they Willie had fallen in the privy and then they had all needed baths. Other than that, why is the bathtub coming out right now? I don't know. Anyway.
No.
So she can wash the measles off of her.
Yeah. The nasty measles.
Her jealousy for Lord John Grey.
Well, I mean, then they could have shown us washing the linens. Imagine how hard it would be to wash your bed after somebody's had the measles and you don't have a washing machine.
Burn it. Burn it to the ground.
I would just be like,
I could have done. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Dana. Go ahead.
I could have done with a mid laundry session sex scene. You're washing sheets.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
down by the river. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get kind of amorous.
Laundry
does that to me.
It does not to me, but
no, not
to each their own.
Yeah.
Folding clothes.
Nah.
No.
Come on, Dana, don't front.
Don
can't like it that much.
Don Richardson.
I love to fold clothes.
Don Richardson on YouTube put wash that gray right out of her hair, and she spelled gray like Lord John Grey.
Very cute.
Good
job.
Y'all, we just got this tweet in from Emily Eroen. I'm Emily Faith 12. She said in the Lord John Grey books, Jamie and Lord John Grey get really close. The writers clearly have put all that context into where probably a little lost readers / viewers haven't read, especially in The Scottish Prisoner. So
get really close. How?
I don't know. She just said really close. Maybe there was some assumption by the.
I don't care.
There's no close penetration close, but I mean.
Some churning butter. They've been churning butter together.
Ooh.
Okay, look.
I'd watch that.
I don't want extraneous detail. I don't want to hear about Claire's parents and the Mackenzies flying some in the World War II. I don't care. I want the books to be adapted well. I want the characters to be in character, which I really thought the characters were in character this episode. I have a problem with that, but
speaking about in character, let's talk about Murtagh and the most awkward dinner conversation of all.
Is it awkward, or like Beth said, I think it almost had a resonance coming off of Thanksgiving. We all have that one relative.
Yep, and it's Murtagh versus. You couldn't just have a nice damn dinner.
No,
but you have that one person who's got to just seriously just have a conversation that's normal. And,
Aunt Janet.
Yeah.
Stop giving Aunt Janet wine.
I mean, but whose fault is it really at this point? Lord John's talking about all the, read the room, dude. These people are living in the wilderness. They do have a little bit too much for where they are and who they are, but still, they're not the pinnacle of elegance. So, I mean, read the room a little bit, Lord John.
It's literally one of them smells like pig shit. The other one, the other two were in prison, indentured servants. And you're like, the governor has a beautiful house. Oh, God. No. You're just like, oh.
I liked it. I like that. I like that tension as well. And I mean, I think
Right.
maybe they'll be able to bring that back in a
Right.
realistic way. I think we won't see Murtagh again for a while.
No. And I like Murtagh. I really like his, I've always liked his character to begin with. I always feel like Murtagh is us on this show. You know, where people go,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all of us sometimes when I feel like we all want to be Claire, but really I feel like our attitude is more Murtagh than anything.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
And I'm fine with that.
How in the world did Murtagh figure out that Willie was Jamie's son? Like, there had been nothing up until the talk on the porch about him being like, Willie doesn't have anybody else. Like,
No.
there was nothing.
I mean, honest to God, like, I work with children and I never come to a conclusion that quickly ever with a kid says, I miss my mom. It's because she's not your mother.
Yeah.
That's another, but that reminds me of then when Jamie screams out, he's my son, it's rushed.
Yeah.
I think it would have been great I would actually have preferred if Jamie told him personally, said, I need to tell you something. And like, why do you care about that kid? And have Jamie said, because he's mine.
Yeah.
Like, or at least have Murtagh like at the dinner table, like looking at Willie, looking at Jamie,
suspiciously.
And kinda,
Yes.
being able to put some of it together.
Yeah.
Give them some of the same mannerisms. Like, make them do something that's similar, whatever it is, and give that to them and let Murtagh see it more than once. Let him look at Claire and see how she's reacting to it. Give us some kind of indication that that's going to happen.
Well, in the books, I always remember that Claire said that a lot of Brianna's mannerisms were Jane. It's the cock of the head, certain things. Give it to that kid, you know.
Well, I just feel like they also rely on the hard-headedness, the Mackenzie hard-headedness. Well, I mean, I think anyone would say that again about the Scots. I know growing up Irish, I was always told I'm hard-headed because of that. So, I mean, you can't always just rely on one detail. Oh, he's hard-headed. He must be Jamie's.
Right. Heather Hargrave says that book Jamie guards the secret of Willie so intensely. Show Jamie spits it out every chance he gets.
It's true.
So he literally did spit it out to Willie.
And a bunch of Indians he's never met.
Cherokees. Yeah. And a bunch of Cherokees. Yeah. So, but once again, it's that Murtagh. It's that sense of like, how does the boy figure out that Jamie's oh God, I can't even think of the name.
Groomsman.
Or the groomsman from his childhood with just one Gaelic saying, and he's from, that area. And how does Murtagh figure it out with Jamie and literally he said it twice, like, what, he lost his parent, he's lost his mother twice. You're the father. What, how?
Yeah.
You know what? If you ever play a game of Clue with Murtagh and Willie, they kick your ass. Because they would figure it out right away.
Yeah. They know exactly who did it with the candlestick.
Exactly. And then the candlestick would be melted down to Claire's ring. So and then
I want to see how much of the candlestick was ruined. Like, were they able to just take like a little bit off the foot and keep the candlestick intact? I'm hoping that this was the case.
I'm just hoping that they have the candlestick later on, because what happens if she needs that damn candlestick?
I'm sure she does need it.
Yeah.
She should need it. She probably doesn't need it because they have like a whole Ridge pottery barn out there. But
yes. Cabin full of candlesticks and everything else she might possibly need ever.
Because the girl doesn't look like she can hold a rifle well enough to actually shoot it. Like,
but they have the most.
Last week.
They have the most beautiful
so much stuff.
They do. I honestly, it was like in Breaking Dawn Part 2 where Edward opens the door to the beautiful, like, their little cottage. That's what their house looks like. It's their sex cabin. It's huge.
It is pretty big. What's on the second floor? Yes. Why is that up there?
Exactly. Was it Ian's sleeping quarters with Rollo? I mean, I don't know.
Where is everybody sleeping? Like, where's Murtagh been sleeping this whole time? He's been hanging out there for a couple of weeks. Yeah. Where's Jermaine? Has she not given birth to that baby yet?
Justice for Jermaine.
I mean, Lord John was there for at least 10 days.
Jermaine's gonna show up and he's gonna be like 5, and he's already gonna be cussing in French.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is I'm looking forward to that.
We're not gonna. I don't know when we're gonna see them or when we're gonna hear about that happening. Who knows? Next week's
season.
gonna be all Brianna and Roger. I think.
I think so.
I'm so scared.
I'm so scared because when she read that letter to Roger, I'm like, oh, look at that. Even in Roger's head, as he reads that letter, she has no affect.
It was true.
I was like, oh, look at that. He can't even fake having an affect. He just, dear Roger, don't look for me. Love, Brianna. Have a good summer.
TTYL.
CTYL. KIC.
Exactly.
Here's my fake number. So anyway, yeah. And some people are also commenting, no mention of Fergus or, we all miss Fergus. Can we bring Fergus back?
Yeah, if we're going to do a bunch of Ridge shit episodes, like I would like for it to feel familial. And maybe that's coming later on, but like I like it when they're surrounded by people. And there is like some episodic like photos from stars that have like Brianna and Ian together. Spoiler alert. And so that's going to be
It's crazy.
Everybody's seen that, you know? So anyway, that'll be fun, but I want it to be like everybody around like the Christmas table. I want it to feel very Little House on the Prairie.
Oh my God, that would be the perfect Christmas episode.
It would. That'd be fun.
Aww.
Joe Train Choo Choo says that she thinks the Red Room of Pain is on the 2nd floor.
Oh, you did not go there.
Oh, Joe.
She did. I'm telling you.
No.
Joe.
Hey, everyone has speculations or
Well, I think they have a
fanfic.
potato shelf over in the corner. Like Shura got them a nice potato shelf where they do train tracks. If you get that reference, you are my people. The potato shelf reference. Somebody says, does anyone know if Richard Rankin and Sophie are still together IRL? They were at the end of season 3. Kara Watkins, this is news to me.
Please
look at Julie's face.
Sources. Give us your sources.
Yeah. I need
Wait
some,
a
I need
minute.
I need some
Let's
links.
start this ship. I'm excited.
I have
miss the
never.
Sam and Katrina shippers. So let's start this one.
I haven't heard that at all.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't think they are. I honestly don't.
For his sake, I hope he's not. He seems way too personality plus.
Kara saying, what? There's a YouTube video. Kara,
Well, I need
better-
you to
Yeah.
find it and link me to it.
that's right.
Yep.
We have, if it was common knowledge, we 100% are in our own little that's normal bubble, and we have been ignoring that common
Which
knowledge.
is not saying.
It's not saying that. It's very possible.
Kara.
I literally have no idea what's going on outside
Kara,
the fandom and my
we've
Twitter feed.
had in our own little that's normal like conversations, whether it's on Facebook or in text. Kara, we have dived deep into the shipping of Sam and Katrina to the point where we just giggle about it. So yes,
Okay.
please.
You shared it in a season 3 Hangoutlander. If I missed this, I apologize, and that's a legitimate apology because that would have been worth exploring all of this time.
Oh my
Because you
God.
even admitted that you can't moderate and see. It's hard.
No, I can't. But no, you just said it would help their chemistry. They don't have any chemistry.
Somebody just put they have zero chemistry. Do you remember that episode of Friends where Joey tells Chandler, like, your girlfriend, how do you know your actress girlfriend is cheating on you because she has zero chemistry with the actor on stage because they've gotten it all out of their system?
Oh,
in real life?
yeah.
So if they have zero chemistry, according to Kara Watkins, you're probably right. They're wasting it all between the sheets. No,
I don't know.
I'm not
I've
saying
seen
that.
Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart continue
true.
to have chemistry all the way through the end of
That's
Breaking Dawn
true.
Part 2.
That is true. Wow. Okay. I'm just
I mean, my mind is blown.
my
I
life
can't-
has changed.
I mean, I like them both better IRL than I do on the show, so I'm for that. I'm actually for Sophie and Lauren Lyle getting together. I think they would have a good time.
I'm just for me hooking up with the guy who plays Fergus. So
Mhm.
the
I'm
Dom
for that.
boy.
I would ship that.
Dom boy.
Yeah,
Ship
guy.
it. Yeah.
César. He's so
César.
delicate in French.
And yet we would have beautiful little brunette babies. So and they would be this small, apparently.
Yes. That'd be
So,
wonderful.
If they even came to fruition, because apparently you're just going to be pregnant forever.
That's
And
it.
ever and ever. If
And
you-
ever.
Does that happen? Why
It's
do
like
you
an
have-
elephant birth.
So anyway, oh Lordy. Oh, anyway.
No, well,
so-
pregnancy. They're like
Oh,
2 years
okay.
pregnant. Sorry.
Oh. Okay.
What?
So we're looking at right now. What we're doing is we're looking at comments.
Sorry.
If you're wondering what our faces are going like, we're all just like
Yes.
looking at the comments. So people are. Andy says that she loves Lauren Lyle and Nell Hudson's BFF relationship in real life. Yes, we agree. That's a good friendship. Just because they also look like sisters. So that's fantastic. So good. I just want more Murtagh in my life. So because
Yeah.
I feel like he really is all of us.
I want to say something about one of the. Well, I'd like to talk about everybody that commented on the post, but Gail's been commenting forever, ever since we started talking about Outlander 100 years ago, and she said that the show's really lost its way for her. She feels like the producers and writers have a checklist: how many sex scenes, how many times will Jamie take off his shirt, how many times can we use the exact dialogue from the book. Each episode seems like it's lurching from one scene to the next. And she's not wrong. I mean, we've talked about that before. I feel like it's gotten better to some degree, but she's right that it feels like the scenes lurch from scene to scene, and then the episodes lurch from episode to episode instead of being like one smooth narrative.
Right.
The fact that we got Brianna's cliffhanger last week and then no return to that at all this week is dumb. If you were binge watching the show, you would be like, what just happened? Why am I back? What is happening?
Mhm.
And so they just don't have a good way of getting people to like stay invested in what's going on.
That cliffhanger from last week, and I thought it was so beautifully done. Like where she touches and the camera just goes 180 around the rock and she's gone. I was like, oh my God. So it made me really excited to watch this episode because I thought, if anything, just open the episode where you see like her skirt walking through a town or something, and then just cut away from that. Just something. But I agree with the checklist. Like, don't get me wrong. I love a good Jamie and Claire sex scene. It's, I think, one of the reasons why we all kept on reading the books. We love their emotional and physical relationship. But ending the episode like they did with that tub scene, with the sex scene like that, I was like, no, I didn't like it.
I feel like they
checklist.
find easy solutions for things, and then it's gone. They needed Murtagh to get out of this episode, so he got mad at Lord John, so he left and went back to the They find easy solutions for things and they tack them in instead of like creating bigger tensions that have a thread that runs through more than just 15 minutes of an episode. And it's just unfortunate. You want them to have so much more, and you want it to be so much better, and it sometimes hits the mark, and then sometimes you're just, when it, like last week, when it somewhat hits a mark and you're like, oh, this was a good episode of TV. It's a surprise instead of being like something to be excited about or something that you expect because it's a good show.
Right. Diana Anderson says she would love the opinion of this panel. Do you think the show will go past season 6 and cover all the books? Diana's not even done with the books. I don't know. I don't.
George R.R. Martin wasn't done with.
Yeah.
They might just
Song of
start
Fire and
making up
Ice.
their own stuff like Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, sorry. I'm like stuttering with my words. Katrina Balfe and Sam Heughan both separately are now having these film careers that are going beyond television. Whether Sam's doing independent British films or whatever we'd like to, or straight to, on-demand British films.
He's filming in Budapest right now, okay?
My bad. I know.
I bet they even flew him there.
Like a real movie star.
They flew him there and he got first class, or at least business class with legroom. So I don't know. I don't know.
Their careers are going to have to take off just the teeniest bit more. Like Katrina's been nominated for 3 Golden Globes, and I don't remember how many Emmys, if at all.
Yeah.
You can correct me on that. I don't really know. But Sam hasn't. And so they don't have bad careers right now. They're doing fine. but something would have to like really spark for, I think, one of them to probably turn it down.
Right.
Because after Outlander, it's not that they wouldn't be working actors, but it's not like they're going to be working actors who can do a movie on hiatus. They're going to be actors that are pounding the pavement looking for roles all the time, unless they score something really Oscar worthy.
Right.
So I would say they're going to keep it going because I think Stars is going to want to keep it going.
Oh yeah. So that you actually bring up a good point. Katrina, Katrina has been nominated for a Golden Globe. So I'm going to assume it's from season. Obviously it's from season.
Every season she's been nominated.
Yeah. But Sam, no nomination for good old Sam at all. And actually I thought this is my personal opinion. I thought Sam actually was really good last season. I mean, he improved last season. So especially in that first episode, but obviously that's my opinion. I could be wrong.
I mean, I think that I think that Stars will definitely want to continue the series. They're not Netflix. They don't have, all this stuff coming out that they don't have the money to put out the stuff that people like.
Right.
It's one of their number one shows, if not the number one show that they put out. They don't have a lot of original content. They're going to want to keep making it all the way through as long as they can.
Right.
It's going to be a matter of whether or not they can sign Katrina and Sam.
Right.
And they're not going to do that unless I would think that Katrina would not sign for more than the 6th season unless she's not getting really good roles, which I don't think she is.
And keep in mind, Outlander is not Stars' number one show. The number one show on Outlander, Stars, is actually Power. Power is their number one show.
Yeah.
But I think that's ending soon. I think it's ending soon. So after that, Stars is going to be I think the juggernaut is going to be Outlander. More so than anything.
Heather Hargrave just said on YouTube that Sam is better when he has scenes on his own or not with Kat.
It's so true.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
so
even his sex scenes. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. The Geneva sex scene
was so good.
It's some of his best acting yet.
Yeah. I mean,
Geneva sex scene.
Mary McNabb even was like
that was
heartbreaking.
Beautiful. I loved
it.
I loved that scene where he just, and it's that tear. He had that little single tear got dropped, and she just touches his. And they didn't show them having sex. They didn't need to show them having sex. It was just the emotion that was behind it.
It was so fluid and organic too. It made it that much more believable. You didn't think it was forced. You didn't think it was part of a checklist. It was just good.
Right.
Good.
Man, I'm going to go through like a deep dive of Outlander sex scenes and like watch them all back to back and rate them.
We should rate them. Yes.
Why hasn't anyone put that on YouTube yet? Just done Outlander sex scenes. Somebody who has a lot of time, please do that for us. I'm
sure if like we went person to person right now, I think we probably have our own favorite sex scene from the series.
I mean, mine will always be like wedding night. That will always be really good.
Beth is thinking way too hard. Look at that face.
I don't love the wedding night. I mean, it's a good episode, but I don't love the sex in that one. I mean, I think mine is probably the real quick, like downtown that Murtagh interrupts. I think that one's the most realistic. And I really like the one in The Reckoning.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I watched that Geneva sex scene multiple times.
I mean, I did too, but I think I recapped that episode.
Yeah, you did.
You did, because you did that one, Julie, I think.
Wait, I did the sex scenes for that one?
I think you did the Geneva episode.
I don't think I did. No, that was Nikki. Nikki did it. I gave her the idea of posting the picture of Sam kissing
with the big TN. With the big
Heather Hargrave says the sex scenes and the Rick Sophie. Oh, sorry. I thought she was telling us there's a Rick Sophie sex video. I was like, what? There's not. She's not saying. She's saying that she needs these scenes and that we need to see the video.
Beth, the one for The Reckoning, are you talking about the knife to the neck one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Oh, no, that was phenomenal because that was like full on Claire. That was Claire and Jamie. That wasn't Sam and Katrina faking it or it was.
No, wait a minute. No, Purely Amused just said, did I admit that I rewatched the sex scenes for enjoyment? No, I have never done that. I'm saying I need to do it in order to rank them and tell you what's wrong with them.
Pearly Muse,
Very
I've done that.
clinically.
Whatever.
I have 100% not done that.
I watched the Geneva sex scene. I went back a little bit just to see it again, just because it was good. So leave me alone. I don't care.
I'm very embarrassed by all of their sex scenes. I feel
All
I'm
of them?
very, yes, I feel very uncomfortable. I think it's just because I know them and I feel like I know them a little too well. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like know them like they're my friends, but like I just can't do it. Like I would rather the Tobias ones don't bother me, Jamie with other people, but the two of them together, I just think that their chemistry is funny. And so they make me uncomfortable.
I would
don't know.
rather have in that first season, not necessarily their sex scenes make me uncomfortable because, but I would rather have like, I found the lead up to the wedding night, like where she's retying his scarf. That was hot. I don't know. I
or
like
even
stuff
like bandaging him up, kind of really like legit nursing him, but
yeah. I don't know. But once again,
dimly lit room, hotness.
yeah, it was,
I feel you on that.
but yeah. So anyway, well, let us know in the comments and on YouTube and on Twitter what your favorite sex scenes were in Outlander and what wasn't felt forced. Like, I don't see anybody saying that yesterday's episode sex scene. A lot of people are saying they did like the kisses, like the count, like the 1, 2. That was very sweet. But I don't think a lot of people are feeling the sex scene from last night.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
No.
But anyway, decent episode. Next week, we do have a lot of Roger and Brianna. Roger looks like something out of a high school production of a Christmas Carol. And I absolutely 100% cannot believe he looks that bad. And so he looks worse. I thought when they styled him for him going back to the Stones, he would look slightly better. He looks 100 times worse.
Nope.
It's going to be awful. It's going to be so bad. I cannot even think about it. Anyway, next week, be here. We'll be back at the same time. And then hopefully that's the last episode until January.
Right.
Because it's Christmas. And
craziness.
People have things to do. I have things to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. You guys on YouTube, y'all are the best. I actually had it up, able to talk and look at it at the same time. This was excellent. I don't know why I've never done it before.
There you go.
Thank you guys. Everybody on Twitter. I didn't watch you guys because I was doing this, but thank y'all for
They're pretty
joining.
active. Yeah.
And next week, someone remind me because I will forget. We will give away some swag. Some good swag to give away. And next week we're going to do that to somebody that's hanging out with us. So thanks, you guys. We will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.